Ask you both a question. This was on my mind after the game. I was watching post game on ESPN when Rachaad White caught the touchdown. There's you two being in the locker room and being around the Buccaneers and covering the Bucs. Again, we're your official Bucs station, so we're always talking to players and coaches and getting this access to the Buccaneers. There seems to be when players and coaches talk about Rachaad White, there's something that lights up. And I've noticed it over the last several weeks. Leonard Fournette loves Rachaad White. Tom Brady loves Rachaad White. The coaching staff, other players really seem to say that there's something special about his makeup. What is it? Can you guys put your finger on it? What makes Rachaad White so special, not just as a ball carrier and as a talent, but also why he resonates so much in that locker room right now?
Well, I mean, it wasn't long ago Rachaad White was picking up Leonard Fournette on the bench, trying to get him a little bit motivated. Fournette was down in the dumps, and it was Rachaad White who got in there and said, let's go. I just think this is a young man whose story is tremendous. Mm-hmm. Comes out of high school, a 0-star recruit, goes to, I believe it was Nebraska Kearney. It's not a junior college, but like an NAIA type program, just to get to the next level, Mount San Antonio College in California. And then he's working jobs while he's playing football on the weekends. So he'd play, and then he'd go work a night shift. I believe it was in some warehouse. And then he winds up at Arizona State. And when he got there, people don't know who Rachaad White was. And he comes up, and he's one of the best running backs in the Pac-12. Then he goes into the draft, and all the ASU fans are going, hey, what happened to our guy? he was here for a cup of coffee. And so this is kudos to him as a man and to the Bucs personnel and scouting department for at some point locating him and his growth. I would have to presume it was when he was at Arizona State, but they're sniffing these guys out at the Mount Sac colleges and following them and trying to be quiet about it. He just fell right to them in a perfect spot.
Yeah. And I asked him about that today, and he said he credited his mom. He said, I was raised in a house where respect was paramount. So he said, I came into this locker room with the utmost respect for the veterans. And it was that idea of keep your head down, do your work, have respect for them, and earn their respect by your performance and the way you carry yourself. And he said, that's my mentality and how I've approached everything. And sure enough, here we are 12 games into the season. And from everything I've seen, he has everybody's respect. And even though I haven't asked, Cade and Co about that specifically, the way they carry themselves, and you can tell just like a humble spirit, like a meekness. And I mean that in the most positive way, that they approach things and work hard, ask a lot of questions. Shaq Mason was saying that Rachaad asks him a lot of questions about their blocking, how to work with them. So the hunger to learn, the respect for the veterans, and being able to execute. They're good players.
Yeah, I think it transcends industry, because even in the news industry or the sports broadcasting industry, you always have that person who is eager to learn and knows what their role is, and they just want to improve and get better. And I couldn't help. I wanted to ask you both about it because I couldn't help but notice that in interviews, just there's something that lights up on their faces when it's talking about Rachaad White. And it's clearly, I think you hit a home run there with what you were saying about Jason Licht, because they're clearly evaluating players in a lot of different respects, both on the field and off. And Rachaad White has clearly earned the respect of the locker room.